For today's watch review, we're taking a look at the Casio G-Shock GD350. Now, I have already done a review on this one. However, as time goes by and as I improve on my reviewing skills and editing abilities, there are definitely a lot of watches that I feel deserve to be revisited, and this is definitely one of them. So let's get right into it. You can easily and reliably find this watch for around $80 before taxes. And knocking out that quick 360 just so you can see what we're dealing with here. Look at it at all different angles. Here's that Caseback. Here's the other side. And back to the front. For the dimensions, starting off with the diameter, we're looking at 50.5 millimeters, and then a case height of 18.3 millimeters with a lug-to-lug of 53.4 millimeters. And then the band width starting at the top is 28.5 millimeters, and then that tapers down to the smallest portion of 21.7 millimeters. The GD350 comes in at 73 grams, or 2.5 ounces. Going over functions and features, starting off with the case, we've got a resin case, and then a mineral crystal, and then right underneath that, going over the display, right at the very top, you can see that there is a 10-minute animation, and just underneath that, there's a 10-second animation. And just to the right of that, there is a function indicator. This is telling you what functions you have on. So we've got auto light, vibration, mute, and timer. So whichever function is on or running, it'll be highlighted in that indicator. Just underneath that, you've got your calendar data, and then underneath that, you've got the main time, which you can shift between 12 to 24 hours. Right there at the very bottom, you've got the backlight button. When you push that, here's a quick snapshot of the backlight. I think it's fantastic. You can also adjust the length of the backlight between 1.5, 3, and 5 seconds. Now we're going to scroll through the different modes, starting off with world time, and then alarm. For alarm, we've got 5 different alarms that we can set, and then here you see that it is off. However, we can set any of the alarms to go off either one time, daily, or back to off. And also you can set them to go off with a tone or vibration, and that is set through the adjust screen. Next, we've got the stopwatch. The stopwatch will go for 999 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds, 0.59 milliseconds. So basically 1,000 hours. After that, we've got the timer, and then back to the main time. Something worth noting on the main time display is if you press the adjust button once, it will tell you, or briefly tell you, how long you have your timer set to. So you can see right here I have it set to 1 minute, and the reason why that's cool is because the start button right here is also a shortcut to your timer. So if we press this button, you can see that the timer will start going on the main time display. All of these functions are powered by the 3403 module, which is a quartz movement that provides plus or minus 15 seconds per month, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's really hard to beat the accuracy of a quartz movement. And then for the battery, we've got a CR2032 battery, which is approximately a 5-year lifespan, and this is based on using the light and vibration function once a day. And most people don't really use that function once per day, so you can expect your battery to last much longer than 5 years. And as always with all G-Shocks, you've got fantastic water resistance. The GD350 coming in at 200 meters of water resistance. Looking at that display, this is one of those things that's one of the shining stars of the GD350, and really one of the shining stars in the entire G-Shock lineup. It's not like a super futuristic fancy display. It's not an MIP display. It's just a standard LCD display. And for some reason, whatever they did, they knocked it out of the park. The contrast is sharp and clear. Whether you're inside or outside, whether it's dark or light, the display is going to be clearer than most anything you've ever seen on a digital watch. The bezel is great here. We've got around 2 to 3 millimeters of raised bezel from the mineral crystal, so you can rest assured that your crystal is going to be protected from any accidental falls or those annoying bumps in the night when you're smashing your watch against the unexpected door frame. Going over the pushers real quick, we've got plastic pushers for 3 of them, and then for the shortcut to the timer, I actually don't know if that's just plastic, like chrome painted plastic, or actual metal. I couldn't find anything online, but it is different from the other standard black or dark navy blue pushers. I do think it looks aesthetically pleasing, and it's just kind of cool having a different pusher there. Makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. Going over the band or strap, we've got a resin band here with the dual clasp system, so I think that looks very cool. It's very modern and futuristic for G-Shock design. Resin keeper here, and then a metal buckle. On the other side, you can see it's your standard design here, but I really like it. I think it minimizes the surface contact with your skin, so it's very breathable and very comfortable throughout the day. For the Caseback, you've got your standard G-Shock Caseback with the 4 screws. Very boilerplate, but no issues. Simple is king. And then as you can see, you've got these shock absorbent wings. I don't know if there's actually a technical term. All I've ever heard was wings. So that's what we're going to call it for today's review. If you actually know what the technical term is, then please let me know in the comment section below. Some people either hate these or love these. I'm indifferent. I don't mind them. They don't affect the comfort or wearability. You can remove them. They're only held to the watch via these 2 screws. Just keep in mind that if you do remove them, you are going to have a slight gap between the screw head and the main case. For my personal thoughts and opinions, I could be completely wrong about this, but I feel like the GD350, it may not be an underdog, but it definitely doesn't get as much attention as I feel like it deserves. I feel like the GD350 is really one of those watches that has outstanding value and being completely practical for so many different fields of work. One of those things that make this watch that practical is the shortcut to the timer right here. So when you hit that, you immediately have the ability to time yourself. And when you consider jobs in law enforcement, first response, and the military, something that is very important is response times. So if something were to happen, whether you have to get the ship ready for general quarters, or you have to report to a crime scene, or you have to get a injured patient to the hospital, all of those things, you've got a standard time frame that you need things to get done. So it's really great to have the option to immediately and quickly start the timer as a way to keep yourself accountable and to give you that backup. Another feature that is so great is your 10-second and 10-minute animations. A lot of watches have that, and I just think it's great that the GD350 has that as well. A lot of people think it's just for fun, but for me, it's a quick shortcut to quickly just time things. You know, sometimes you don't have to use a stopwatch. Sometimes you just need to time things for 10, 20, 30 seconds at a time. And that's a great alternative to be able to quickly measure time accurately without having to sacrifice your focus on pushing buttons. And you know, you probably won't lose that much time or focus going to the actual stopwatch, but it's nice knowing that you don't have to do that. You have the option to quickly use the 10-second and 10-minute animation on the display. And the fact that this watch has the ability to mute the buttons and tones and instead just have a vibration alert really does solidify this watch as probably one of the most tactical watches that you can find. And I say that because, you know, I'm not a special operator. However, I would imagine that if I were, and I were in a very delicate situation, one that required extreme silence and what do you want to call it, clandestine operations, I wouldn't want to make a peep, and I wouldn't want my watch to blow my cover. So the ability to have it just vibrate and notify you of different times, I think is fantastic. And it's just a beautifully comfortable watch. With the resin strap and then those shock absorbent wings, all of it just ties it together to being a very ergonomic and practical wearing watch. And it's light, the dimensions are decent, no complaints there. The reason why I got the GD350 was because, so I'm in the Navy, I'm active duty military, and I was selected to be a chief, or the rank of E7 in the Navy. And one thing that happens when you get selected is you go through something called initiation. And I guess without getting too deep into it, you get dirty a lot. And so I got this watch for that initiation season. Just something, you know, that I could put on, beat up without worrying too much. And the value is fantastic. So for less than $80, I got a watch that is very comfortable, something I don't have to worry about. And yet it still came out of the season looking brand spanking new, which does say a lot to the durability and resilience of the GD350. Now, if I had to get real nitpicky and think of something that I didn't like about it, it probably would be the shortcut to the timer. Now, I absolutely love that function or feature, but when you hit it and the timer function is enabled, you can't reset it on the main display screen. So you can't start it or stop it or reset it. You have to go to the timer screen to stop it and then reset it. Not a big deal. Again, I'm being very nitpicky here, but it's just one of those annoying things where if you accidentally hit the button, you have to go to the timer screen to do it. You know, it takes all of 3 seconds to do, but in my perfect world, you'd be able to do it on the main display. That's pretty much all I gotta say about the GD350. My final words here is that it really doesn't get much better than this, folks. You've got great value, great quality, fantastic feature sets that are practical for many different types of people. What more can you ask for from a G-Shock? If you're looking at this watch or you're just needing a digital watch in general, go with this one. The display, the functions, it's all 10 out of 10. So thanks for watching. That's all I gotta say. I hope that this review helps you with your next watch purchase. Make sure to tune into the Discord server. And other than that, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.